are having mental health problems, if you are going through a struggle, if you are just feel like you just don't have nobody to talk to, man, they have hotlines you can call. They have therapists. Going to see a therapist is not a bad thing. Talking to somebody that knows how to handle these situations is not a bad thing. Praying is not a bad thing. Meditating is not a bad thing. Going to seek some type of help is not a bad thing, because too many people are suffering in silence and they won't say anything. They're having real deal problems. They're having real deal troubles, and they don't know what to do. What's up? I'm back. As promised, I said I'd have some more videos coming up. So this is just gonna be like a open talk. It's just gonna be me trying not to ramble too much, but it's just gonna be me talking about my life, the last 4 months, and my mental health during these last 4 months, and just how life has been. And I just want to say that life can be really hard. It can be overwhelming. It can be heartbreaking. It can be disappointing. It can just be, it can really make you want to throw in the towel. It can really make you want to give up, because it's just like you're being hit with so many different things at one time. And if you don't know how to manage every problem that you're faced with, it can really get you down. It can really take a toll on you mentally, because it's just so much. Like, life is just already enough as it is. So I'm just learning to take everything one day at a time and just go through it. So the end of September going into the beginning of October, I had a pain in my foot. So out of nowhere, like, I was at work and my foot just started hurting. And this wasn't just like a regular pain. It was a sharp pain. I'm just like, man, what's going on? Like, I hadn't done anything. I hadn't kicked anything. I hadn't tripped over anything. My foot just started hurting. So I didn't pay no attention. I just thought maybe I needed some new work shoes. I'm sorry, y'all. I just thought maybe I needed some new work shoes. So it was like a Thursday or Friday or something like that. And so that weekend, my foot swelled up like really, really bad. So this is going into the beginning of October. So Monday, go back to work. Foot still hurting, like I'm limping to get in and out of work. Tuesday, Wednesday, I think I got some new boots. So got some new boots, foot still hurting. People at my job were like, you really need to go to the doctor. Like, something's not right about this. I was like, let me just go and go. So that Thursday, October the 6th, I went to the doctor, and they said that they possibly thought I had a stress fracture. Like, when I got there, he pressed on my foot, and it was the most excruciating pain. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not good. So it's like, we're gonna put you in a boot. So I went back to work over the weekend. I had the boot on. Went back to work Monday morning. Had a whole like thing with my job and medical, and I don't even want to get into it. But so I went to work for 3 weeks. I was going to work for 3 weeks. So within those 3 weeks, I think we had got a call the next week saying that my cousin was in the hospital. He had liver, heart, and kidney failure. So immediately when his mom called, she was crying. She's telling my mom, and yeah, this is my mom's sister. This is my mom's cousin, but you know, they kind of grew up together, anyways. But she called us, and immediately we went into prayer, because they said that he was not gonna make it 24 hours. So immediately we went into prayer, and then that night, God sustained, God blessed, and he made it through the night. And literally the next day, he was opening his eyes, moving his mouth, moving his hand, trying to move his mouth, you know, trying to talk. So I was like, okay, we good. And I'm still dealing with my foot. So go through the week, and then we I think that next weekend we got another call. She was saying, the doctor's saying this, like, it's nothing more they can do for him. Like, it's just not working out. Like, he just not gonna make it. And I went into my auntie house. Like, when his mom gave me that call, this was the next Sunday. I'm still living with my foot now. This that next week, and I just went into like shock mode. Like, I was crying. Even when she was on the phone with me, I was already crying. I went into my auntie house, and I just like bawled my eyes. I was like, he's gone. Like, the doctor saying there's nothing more they can do for him, and I'm just like so hurt, because I was just like, I mean, it's just because he was just so young. And so I was like, God, when I was on the way home, God said, give it 3 days. So he gave it 3 days. And I tell y'all, like, he had came off all the machines in like 3 days, which was kind of like crazy. He still had the ventilator, but all the machines, like, doing all the stuff working for him, all the machines he came off of, and like, he was kind of starting to breathe on his own. So it was like, dang, God was doing this amazing thing. So the weekend of October 28th, we got a call that Saturday night saying that my cousin had passed, and it was just like overwhelming. Like it was just like a lot, because like I really wanted him to live. I was hoping that he would live, and you know, God just said otherwise. So I had been at work for 3 weeks in the boot, and then finally I got approved for my short term, so I went home for 2 weeks. And then in the midst of all that, the week of November the 8th, so I went home for 2 weeks. Week of November the 8th, we had this lady from my church, elementary school teacher, and I had been going to church with her since 2008, so over like 10 years. Like I had saw her every Sunday, different holidays and stuff like that. And so she was almost like a second mom to me. She passed away. So finally that next week, the week of the 15th, I'm coming out the boot. I started physical therapy. I'm doing fine. Everything's going good. I'm back at work, going full force, working hard. Foot swelled up the night before Thanksgiving. Then next week, my grandma gets rushed to the hospital. And like, oh my Lord, because my grandma's older. She was 81, and she was just going through just typical things that an 81-year-old goes through. Like she wasn't very sick. I wouldn't say she was sickly per se, but she had been going through a lot. She had 3 heart attacks. She had breast cancer, all these different things. So she ended up being rushed to the hospital. They had to put a catheter in. They were saying something's going on with her bladder and all that stuff. So I went to go and see her. I was out of the boot. Like I had got out of the boot, but my foot was still hurting for some reason. So went to go and see her. Then when I went to go and see the doctor that same week, they told me to come back in like 2 weeks on December the 19th. And they said if it's still hurting, they'll do an MRI. My foot would start hurting so bad, I went back on December the 16th. And they gave me an MRI the next week. On December 21st, they called me back and said that indeed I had a second stress fracture. So I went back in the boot. So I went over Christmas break, and I was in the boot the whole time. But by this time, by the 6th time I'm in the boot, my foot is hurting while I'm in the boot. So they said come back on December 30th to do a checkup. So I went back to them on December 30th, and they gave me crutches. Y'all, I have not been on crutches since I was in high school, and I was in the 11th grade. That was over 10 years ago. So I'm a lot bigger than I was then, so trying to get used to these things is a lot. So I'm wearing the boot and on crutches, and so mind you, now I only get a week off of work, and I'm supposed to go back to work the next week, and I cannot go back to work, and my foot is still bothering me, and I'm on these crutches and all this stuff. So same week I go to the doctor for a checkup. It's the same week this other dear sister from my church, she died December 28th. The week of December, that was the same week I went to the doctor, so had that. And the thing about her is, I grew up knowing her too from church, but like the last year or so, she lived in an assisted living home, and I would go play Scrabble with her and 2 other sisters from my church, and it was just so nice because it was one sister in my church, she knew how to play, but me and the other 2 sisters, like we didn't know how to play. But it was fine. Like it was just so much fun, like just being with them and just getting to know them in a better way, and just spending that time with them, and just really just like it was just nice. It was a nice time, and it just made me just thankful and grateful that God had even given me the mindset to go and do it. So it was a blessing. So then that next week, the week of January, the week of the New Year. So I was supposed to have went back to work that Tuesday. I could not go back to work because I was still in the boot. Monday, Tuesday, fine. Wednesday, I get a call from my cousin saying like my grandma being rushed to the hospital, and she's not doing good. I was like, okay, like, you know, she's been rushed to the hospital before, so I thought it was just another one of those times. Like, well, you know, okay, keep me updated. Like 20 minutes late, like 10, 15 minutes late, I get a call from my mom. She's crying. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, where you at? I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, where are you? I was like, I'm on my way home. What's wrong? And she was like, you need to go to the hospital about your grandma. I don't know if they're saying something wrong. Like, they're saying she having seizures. They're saying all this different stuff. And I'm like, oh, Lord, what's... So I'm like, oh, Lord, I just hope this is just not the time, what I'm thinking. So I get up to the hospital, And it's probably about 2:30, like 3 o'clock when I get up there. But I get up to the hospital. Me, my mom, my sister, we all arrived at the same time. Mind y'all, I'm on crutches and I got this boot on my foot. So the side of the hospital we was on, we were too far away, so we had to drive to another side. And I'm like throwing myself like and so when I get in there, it was so funny. The man said, "You here to be seen or you here to see somebody?" I was like, "I know." I looked broke down, but I was like, "No, I'm here to see somebody." And so he was like, "Okay." So they had us in this little consultation room, and they was asking did we want to go back and see my grandma. So I went back there to see her, and they had this machine like doing compressions on her because she was there, but they said, I don't know, it's just so much, but they said she was still holding on or whatever. So I went down, talked to her, I was like, "Grandma, it's okay. We love you, and I know you tired, and we're gonna be okay." So I went back to the room where we were. Probably about 20, maybe like 20 minutes later, I'm saying between 15 to 20 minutes later, my uncle come back in the room, and he said she gone. And that was just a whirlwind of emotions for me and my family, because my grandma was the glue. She was the rock of our family. Like every holiday we got together, we went to my grandma's house. Like before my grandma got sick, like over 15 years ago, like every holiday she would cook, like everything, like turkey, dressing, cakes. Like when I say she cooked everything, she cooked everything. So it was overwhelming for not only me, my sister, my dad, my aunts, my uncle. Like we still had family, like my cousin, my older cousin, and my other cousin, his wife, and my oldest cousin. They still hadn't got to the hospital yet. But my grandma, she was already gone. But when they got there, it was just like a whirlwind of emotions over and over again, because it was just like, I literally really can't comprehend that my grandma is like actually gone. Like she's not here anymore. Like, and it's still, even thinking about it now, it's still kind of crazy that she's not here. Like she's gone. Like she's actually gone this time. I mean, I knew it was coming, but I guess I just didn't expect it to come so soon. Back in December, when she went to the hospital at that time, I felt like something was coming. And so that morning when I was on my way to work, y'all, I was boo-hooing crying. Like when I say I was boo-hooing crying, I was boo-hooing crying, like just crying and crying and crying. I was just like, "God, like I'm not ready for her to go, but if this is your will, we are gonna be okay." I was like, "Lord, whatever you decide, we're gonna be all right," because I know she can't stay here forever. So yeah, but fast forward back January. So that happened. Mind you, I'm still hurting. My foot is still hurting, and I'm still dealing with all this. Now I just lost my grandma. I lost my cousin, 2 ladies from my church that I was very close with, and now I lost my grandma. And so that next week, I go see the specialist, and she does MRIs and X-rays, and she said that I do indeed have a second stress fracture, but I'm also getting some stress edema. So it's like I'm getting almost like I'm finna get a third one, or I guess you could say. So she put me in a cast. So now, yeah, I've never been in a cast. So now I'm in a cast, and I'm on crutches, and I'm dealing with my grandma, and my grandma's funeral's coming. So that week, it was just trying to plan for my grandma's funeral. We had just had one previously, like the same week my grandma died. We was getting ready for this lady at my church. Her funeral was that. The next lady, second lady at my church, her funeral was that Saturday. And then even being at her funeral, it just stirred up so many emotions in me, because I'm thinking about, I'm finna have to do this again. Like my grandma's is coming up, and I'm just finna have to go through this again. Like I'm finna have to like feel this again. I'm finna have to think about this again. So it was just a lot. So that week, y'all, I was literally fine. When I say I'm limping around the house, like the hardest thing having a cast on, y'all, I'm trying to get in and out of the shower. So I had to wrap my leg in some paper towel, then put a trash bag on top of it. Like, y'all, literally one time I almost slipped and fell when I got inside the shower. I was like, oh my Lord, because I was like, I was a task in itself, hopping around in and out of the house, trying to get up and down the stairs. Like, y'all, it's rough being older and having a cast on. So the day of my grandma's funeral, like I'm fine, y'all. Like I'm nervous, like I'm getting really stressed out. Like it's just a whole lot because I'm supposed to sing and I did sing. And I was fine. We walked inside the church and I was fine. Like I was feeling a little funny, but I was fine, y'all. When I got closer to seeing her, like I literally almost passed out. And my emotions just overwhelmed me. Like it was just a lot. My mom was saying because I really hadn't cried for real. I cried some, but I hadn't cried for real. And just I guess it was just the thought that my grandma's actually gone. She's gone. Like she's not coming back. And me and my family really have to finna like deal with all of this because we were together with her every holiday, every Sunday. I would call her, like she was when anytime I would call her, she was like, "What you want, boy? What you doing, boy?" She would say it like in a joking way, and she would laugh and stuff like that. And we just had such a connection, and our connection was laughter. Like I could walk into the room, and my grandma would light up. Like she would be smiling. She just started laughing. I ain't even said it yet. She just started laughing. That was just our connection, and it was just losing her was just a lot. And like I thank God for the support of my family, my friends, and just being able to just kind of like push through because losing so many people around like within months of each other and then still having my own personal issues, what I'm going through, not being able to work because of my foot, just confused about what's going on, in pain and not understanding why I'm in pain. It can literally be a lot. And then just thought of my grandma, it just really made me realize life is really precious. It's really a gift, and like all the memories you make with the different people, the different loved ones that you have, it really does matter because I have voicemails from my grandma. I have this voice recording of her talking, and I have pictures with her and all this stuff. So I'm just thankful for just all the different memories that I have of her that I can still cherish and still take on. And I just want to quickly just say this, like my grandma was a kind lady. Like anybody that knew my grandma knew she had a heart literally of gold. Like she was just a good person. Like you don't meet too many people like that. Like anytime anybody was sick, they stayed at her house. Like if she cooked Sunday dinner and you brought a guest over, she wanted to make sure they got a plate and make sure they took one home. She was just there. Like she was a tough person. Like she was a rock. Like even when she went through breast cancer, like she didn't like waver her faith in God. Even when she had a heart attack, she didn't change her faith in God. And like I'm just glad that she did really come into a full real deal relationship with God. Like something back in 2010, she like fully like surrendered her life to God and just came into a right relationship with him. And I'm just so thankful that the nurses were saying that this is what gave my family a lot of comfort. The nurses that were working on her right before she passed, they was like, she kept saying, he's waiting on me, he's waiting on me, he's waiting on me. And they was like, at some point they was like, they was like who's waiting? And she was like, Jesus. And then she was like, I'm ready to go. And then not too long after that, she was gone. And I just believe that, man, like God was like really waiting on her. I don't know what she seen or what she saw. They was just like, she was looking over at the wall. Life has been a lot for me lately, but surprisingly, my mental health has been okay. Like I've been okay. Like I've been great. It's been nice being at home. I have not went to a restaurant in probably almost a month and a half. And that's not like me. I like to go out and eat every weekend. So, and I'm still encouraged. I'm still ready to go forward. I'm still trying to be all I can be for God. And my 2023, the end of my 2022, going into 2023 has been rocky to say the least. But life is hard, but it's good. It's a gift. It's precious. It's fulfilling. And it's really what you make it, because my grandma did so much in her 81 years. Like she just helped so many people. She was kind to so many people. She left a lasting legacy and a lasting impact. That's what anybody would want to leave, no matter how long they're on earth. You want to leave something behind for people to say, man, this person really changed my life. And my grandma changed my life. And I love her, and I'm definitely gonna miss her, but I know she's not suffering no more. And I just wanted to just check in and just give you guys an update. And I know this just ain't like but sometimes you have to check in. Sometimes you have to say, like, I'm doing okay mentally right now. a month from now, I might not be doing okay because I do miss my grandma. I do want to call her. I do want to hear her voice, but she's gone and I can't do that no more. So all I got is my memories, like I said. So right now I'm good. Right now I'm fine. But if you are having mental health problems, if you are going through a struggle, if you are just feel like you just don't have nobody to talk to, man, they have hotlines you can call. They have therapists. Going to see a therapist is not a bad thing. Talking to somebody that knows how to handle these situations is not a bad thing. Praying is not a bad thing. Meditating is not a bad thing. Because too many people are suffering in silence and they won't say anything. They're having real deal problems. They're having real deal troubles and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know how to express themselves, but they're hurting. And that's why we have to be so cautious of those around us. We have to be just very present in those around us. It's been so many suicides recently, like with so many celebrities and just people taking their lives. Man, sometimes we're so close to these people and we don't even realize that they're really having problems. So I just wanted to come in with you guys and give you guys a good update. I hope this video was not too long. I hope it was not too drawn out. And I just want to say I love you guys. I appreciate all your love and all your support. And I just hope this video helps somebody that to say that just take it one day at a time. Like if you're going through anything, just take it one day, take it hour by hour, minute by whatever you have to do. Slow down, inhale, exhale, and breathe, and just know it's gonna be okay. I promise you, it's gonna be okay. All right, bye.
Grayson, call me. This is Grandma. I'm calling, baby. Nothing wrong. Let's call me. I'm trying to find out something about church tomorrow. Love you. Bye-bye.